The Paris Agreement pledges only a third of the action needed to avoid the worst effects of climate change, a major UN report has found. London experts have said the UN's emissions gap report is the wake-up call politicians across the world need. The report warned that countries and industries need to do far more to meet targets if it is to slow greenhouse gas emissions that scientists say are contributing to global warming. Speaking as the report was published, Professor of Climate Science at UCL Chris Rapley said the UN's findings should refocus politicians' attention on fighting climate change. He told The Standard this the environment program we hope will encourage governments to crank up their efforts after the initial euphoria of the Paris Agreement faded and attentions turned elsewhere. It did so perhaps because scientists' projections had showed the agreement meant we were moving in the right direction, meaning politicians thought okay, we will just let the clock work now. This report shows, as expected, that the international contributions into the agreement were not high enough, and is exactly the sort of wake-up call that's needed. Tuesday's report comes as UN officials make a renewed effort to maintain momentum generated by the Paris Climate Accord. Nature Geoscience Climate Change Report dangerously misinterpreted. It aims to cap global temperature increases to 2°C by 2100 compared to the average world temperature at the start of the industrial era. Edgar Gutierrez Espeleta, Costa Rica's environment minister who heads the 2017 UN Environment Assembly, said the report shows that we face a stark choice: up our ambition, or suffer the consequences. He added the Paris Agreement boosted climate action, but momentum is clearly faltering. Thick smog hangs over London's Docklands. A cyclist wearing a face mask rides between taxis taking part in a protest to highlight congestion and air pollution. Sunrise pollution lingered over London on Tuesday morning. Traffic pollution in North London. Air pollution surrounds the Shard in London. Pollution detector app. Blue air near the Houses of Parliament. Sunrise over a misty, polluted London from Primrose Hill. St. Paul's Cathedral is seen among the skyline through the smog. Eighth layer of smog was visible above London. A cold layer of air can be seen trapping pollution close to the ground and across the London skyline. This image taken near the Royal Observatory in Greenwich shows a layer of fog hanging over London. The City of London covered in smog seen from Hampstead Heath. A smog-filled traffic rush hour in the East End of London. A new round of UN climate talks known as COP23 starts in Bonn, Germany, on Monday, when countries will take stock of their achievements and prepare more ambitious national goals. In a summary of the report, UNEP says current trends suggest even if current national commitments are met, a temperature increase of 3 degrees Celsius by the end of the century is very likely, meaning that governments need to deliver much stronger pledges when they are revised in 2020. Should the United States follow through with its stated intention to leave the Paris Agreement in 2020, the picture could become even bleaker, the statement said, alluding to Donald Trump's administration plan to withdraw the U.S. from the Global Climate Pact. On the upside, the agency highlighted rapidly expanding mitigation action and says carbon dioxide emissions have remained stable since 2014, thanks partly to renewable energy use in China and India. However, it cautioned that other greenhouse gases like methane continue to rise. Professor Rapley said he hoped the latest report will have a similar effect on politicians that a reassessment of efforts on the Montreal Protocol had. They were told not enough was being done, and so they cranked it up. We can only hope that that is what happens here, he said. The Montreal Protocol is an international treaty that was designed to protect the ozone layer by phasing out production of substances responsible for its depletion. It is hailed by many as the most successful climate agreement ever made. The potential future effects of climate change include an increasing number of wildfires, longer periods of drought, continued loss of sea ice and an accelerated sea level rise. Its effects have already had lasting effects on the environment globally, with glaciers shrinking, ice on rivers and lakes breaking up earlier in the year. While the effects the warming of the planet may vary for different parts of the world, it is widely considered to be the biggest threat humanity faces.